about direct method. Direct method is also known as natural method, and it was established in Germany and France around 1900s. So we saw in the previous audio that grammar translation method was used during the Renaissance and it still continues today, whereas direct method is more recent. It came around in 1900. Now, direct method of teaching was developed as a response to the grammar translation method. It was a reaction to the grammar translation method. The main idea is that the new language should be learned in the same way as the first language was learned. Okay, it operates on the idea that the second language, that means English, should be an imitation of the first language, just like we learned our mother tongue. For my case, it is Hindi. In your case, maybe it's Telugu, Kannada, Bengali. The way you learned your mother tongue, the same method should be applied in teaching English. So, all teaching is done in the target language. In the grammar translation method, they used to use a lot of words, a lot of sentences from the mother tongue, and then most of the class was in mother tongue and only a few sentences were formed in English, whereas in the direct method, all teaching is done in target language. If I want to teach you English, then I'll constantly speak English in the class. I will not teach grammar. So grammar will be taught inductively. Inductively means logic will be used. You will be asked that, you need to frame sentences, so use grammar according to the way you understand it. Okay, I won't be giving you any perfect, grammatical rules. Remember the way we learned our mother tongue, we were not taught grammar, but then we used our logic and formed sentences when we were 2 or 3 years of age. Okay, similarly, they say that in direct method, you don't teach grammar, you only teach in the target language, you'll communicate in the target language, there is focus on speaking and listening, and only everyday words are taught. So you are not given huge vocabulary list and you are asked to mug up. No, only the most important everyday words are taught. So just remember the way you learned your mother tongue, or if you have a kid in your house, you might be watching how he is learning language. In the same way, they want to teach English. Now, it is a method of teaching foreign languages because all the foreign languages, they follow a same kind of language structure. Okay, if you remember when I was talking about literary theory and I was talking about the psychoanalytical school, I mentioned that universal grammar is a concept of Noam Chomsky, who says that every kid who is born on this earth, he has certain basic rules of grammar already there in his brain. So if you directly start talking to him in that language, he'll automatically imitate you and start speaking in the same way. Okay, so that's the main tenet of direct method, that the way you learned your native language, in the same way you are taught the target language. So there is no use of mother tongue in the classroom. सिर्फ English में बात होगी. The weakness in the direct method is the assumption that second language can be learned in the exact same way as the first, because the conditions under which a second language is learned is very different. See, we learned Hindi because everybody around us was speaking Hindi, or we learned Bengali because everybody around us was speaking Bengali. But then, if we want to learn English, we need to put ourselves in the same environment. Okay, suppose I go to study in Oxford University. Now, if I stay there for 6 months, I'll be exposed to this direct method. The environment would be English speaking environment. So, I'll automatically start building up my vocabulary, listening to people. I'll start understanding things more clearly and then I'll speak. So, direct method is when I go and live in America or in UK for a time and then I learn English. That's direct method. Okay, but then since we cannot go there, direct method के हिसाब से वो लोग हमें इंडिया में इंग्लिश सिखाने की कोशिश करते हैं. Okay, so in direct method, oral teaching comes before any kind of reading and writing activities. The way we learned our native language, हमने लिखना तो सीखा था 3 साल में, but then उससे पहले हम बोलने लग गए थे. and emphasis is put on correct pronunciation and not so much on grammar. So they don't focus on grammar so much, but they focus on correct pronunciation of words. Let's have a look at a few questions. In September 2013, they asked us to arrange the ELT methods in the order they appear. ELT is English language teaching. So first is grammar translation, then comes direct method. Okay, and after that two methods in the coming audio lecture. So first came the grammar translation method, after that came the direct method. In December 2015, there was a question, you need to match the following. Okay, so direct method is correctly matched with shun mother tongue. Shun means you discard the use of mother tongue. So direct method में आप mother tongue का बिल्कुल भी use नहीं करोगे. You will not speak even a single word in Hindi in that class. You will speak English. Okay, even though it's incorrect. From the first day when you sit in that class, you start speaking in English and the teacher will also teach in English. No use of mother tongue is there. In August 2016, there was a question, direct method in English language teaching is also known as, and the correct answer is natural method. So grammar translation method is known as classical method and direct method is known as natural, because that is how naturally we learn language. So that's it.